O'clock. We'll call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Cody, would you do a roll call of the board, please?
Supervisor Milky,
Here.
Treasurer Rice,
Here.
Trustee Bills,
Here.
Trustee Smith,
Here.
Trustee Thering,
Here.
Clerk Cody here, Trustee Brown is excused.
All present except for Trustee Brown. Thank you. Item 4 on the agenda, approval of the agenda. I'm happy to entertain any motions.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion by Smith, support by Cody. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Agenda passes unanimously. Presentations, we have a guest with us tonight who I'm always excited to be here. Commissioner Engler, you have the floor, by the way.
Thank you. We did not have a meeting earlier, so this week because it's 4th of July. I hope everybody had a good 4th of July weekend, even though we had a lot of rain. But anyways, I want to talk to something for a few minutes that's been going on that would maybe affect the townships a little bit and everything. And it has to do, we kind of went through it in committee, and it has to do with the solar farms panels going on. So they're moving forward. The one north of Beale City is actually getting through some permits that are actually going through. So are all you, does everybody know what PA 116 farmland preservation is? Do I need to go through any of that real quick? Basically, it's a act where farmers sign up their land or their farms not to sell it to anything, to keep it into agriculture. And what happens is there's a complicated factor, where depending on your income, in a year when you do not make any money, you'll get some relief on your property taxes. There's also a thing to get out of it. You have to pay the last 7 years of benefit you received. So it's a little, you got to be planning. A lot of the contracts are for like 50 to 60 years. So we've been getting a lot of transfers from personal ownerships into trusts, and that's so that it goes to the next generation without having to do it. And 116 is transferable. Doesn't have to be whoever buys the land. It's really easy to transfer if you're going to keep it in farm land. Why I'm bringing this up is a little bit different from the windmills. The windmill, and also the contracts for the solar panels, if you're in 116, you have to have it for the length of the contract. So now where it gets a little bit tricky is on the wind. They considered that part of the farm thing, so 116 was okay. So now on the solar panels, you have to transfer, in the 116 is going to be suspended, so which means there's going to be no tax break. Part of the reason you can make arguments as far as, well, that's an income producing property, so you might not benefit from it anyways. But if you know farmers, we always figure out how to get things to zero out, and we get, buy a piece tractor or something to get that down. What we're talking about and trying to understand, I've been talking to Farm Bureau and some of the other ones coming in, is what is the value of that property that has a solar farm on there? How do you assess that? Because some of these are bringing $1,200 an acre per year for 30 years. So normally farmland is assessed on sales. Well, you're probably not going to see a sale on any of these properties for a while, because and if you take 10 acres, you're talking could be 300,000 over the contract year. So then do you have to do a separate category on that? Number two, eventually someone's going to sell that. It's going to be like a insurance policy. Somebody will want to get a big chunk of money, so they'll sell it all at once. So will that affect the pricing of all farmland, or is that going to have to be categorized in a separate thing? Because farmland is really expensive now, and it's like the value keeps going up, and it only helps us when we sell the ground. We don't plan on doing that for most of us, so just wanted to keep you up to date. The state doesn't seem to know. It seems that everybody seems to knew there's been some solar farms south, but so far this issue is still going on, so, and it'll affect the evaluation on that, so. With that, I will leave that, and I know I don't like to ever take up your meeting too long. There is going to be debate on the Republican candidates, if anyone want to go, and that's going to be, let me see, July 24th at 6 o'clock. It'll be at the Lux Fever Home, so if anybody's, I think it's going to be on YouTube too, so.
That's for the county commission or other offices as well?
Most of the county commission, there's not a lot of primary, I don't think there's any other primary challenges besides on the county commission, so. So anybody's interested, we set the date up so far, challengers haven't accepted yet, so we'll hope that happens, so. I'll take questions, if anybody has any. Yes, sir.
One quick question. Has the State Tax Commission or Tribunal looked at this assessing on farmland that have solar on it yet? So there's been no cases brought before that body that you're aware of?
There isn't any right now because nobody's selling the land.
Okay.
And you can use, I don't know, I've been on the board of review for Deerfield for years. Of course, now everything goes into a database you can use. Before you had to bring your own comparisons to compare on there, so you could take one from, but then again, how do you compare farmland in Saginaw County, of course, to something up here with values different, but until they start to sell them, which I don't imagine will happen right away, but
Okay.
or should there be an automatically, will the state come in and automatically increase that because the land's worth more? I mean, that
Would
kind of,
that be a personal property thing?
it'd be the value, you know, are they gonna categorize it as a different besides or agricultural, ag 1? Maybe there'll have to be another
Because
category, ag 4 or something.
the panels are personal. It's just the
Yeah.
land underneath it. Yeah, it would be an Ag 1 or Ag 2
Yeah.
definition or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But so they have to pay tax on that anyway every year,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
It's kind of like if somebody got an oil well next to your land, your value's gonna go up probably pretty good, so, okay, any more questions?
Thank you,
For the
Commissioner.
time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's see, that takes us to item 7 on the agenda, public comment. Public comments restricted to 3 minutes regarding items on this agenda. If you choose to address the public, please state your name and address for the record. Let the record show we have nobody connected remotely, and we'll open up public comment at 7:08 PM. Going once? Seeing no one coming forward, we'll close public comment at 7:08 PM. That takes us to reports. Let's see, yeah. Item 9 on the agenda, report boards comments. Current list of boards and commissions. Just to note, we do have one planning commission seat open. And then board member reports. Trustee Therian?
Next meeting, we meet, Planning Commission meets next week.
Nothing.
No?
Wow, this is odd.
I didn't have any meetings.
We do
It's been the
have,
holidays, I guess, right?
yes.
we do have a board of review
Next
vacant
Tuesday.
as well. No, this alternate seat is.
Oh, an
vacant.
alternate seat, you're right, thank you.
Mhm.
Board of Review, speaking of, will have their July meeting next Tuesday, I believe it is, 9 AM. And then if you remember the last meeting, we appointed,
Jeanette Corbin.
thank you, Jeanette Corbin, thank you, to the Board of Review. So we should have a full board to work with. So moving on, consent agenda, happy to entertain any motions with consent agenda.
Motion to approve?
Support.
Motion by Cody, support by Rice. Who had warrants?
Brown.
You're kidding.
No.
You didn't ask me.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
He forgot. He said sorry.
Did he contact you?
He sent me a message.
I can come in tomorrow and review them and then email everybody.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
That would
if
be
there's, we'll assume no issues, and if there are, I'll let you know via email. If not, then just assume that it's good.
Acceptable? I'm seeing everybody nod. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to approve consent agenda. Any other discussion? All in favor of consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Consent agenda passes unanimously. New business, second reading and adoption of proposed sidewalk ordinance number 24-02. Just for the public's information, this was first reviewed by the Planning Commission. This is the second meeting that this board has had it in front of us. And so just want the public to be aware of that as we go through this. Mr. Stuhldreher, would you like to introduce this?
Thank you, and good evening, everybody. The report begins on page 16 of your agenda packet. The only thing that I will say is that following the last Board of Trustee meeting, there was a lot of discussion on cost sharing, I'll describe it, of required sidewalks. We have attempted to articulate, and you'll find it on page 19 of your agenda packet, an update to section 4A, and it's within a box on your agenda packet. We have added the word funding to section 4A so that the policy would address funding. And then we've added section 4A4 to state this policy may include cost-sharing guidance to assist the Board of Trustees in decisions related to funding for construction of public sidewalks and pathways. We feel that that is address the concerns of the Board of Trustees. And since we've been over this, I'm not going to go through the whole ordinance again. But I'd be happy to answer any questions the board may have on that section or any other sections within the ordinance, proposed ordinance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions for the manager?
Just a couple things, and they're not really questions, more just my thoughts. I really like how this really cleans up a lot of things on the old ordinance that was done back originally in 2009. On the authority, putting the Board of Trustees at number 1, confirming the Planning Commission responsibility for the planning, the use standards, the construction standards, also having it going from 4 to 5 feet. Not sure why 4, looking back at it, not sure why 4 feet was ever adopted back in the day, but, we'll hold those people accountable, I guess. But 5 feet seems to make sense. But it seems like for the ordinance, it makes a lot of sense. And I think a lot of discussions, a lot of concerns that the public has is maybe not necessarily with the ordinance itself, but I think it's with the policies in which, we just got the updated draft of that stuff. So I think this ordinance looks very good. I'm happy with it. But the real discussion is also going to be in the actual policies on how that is going to be carried out. So good job on the ordinance.
Thank you. And I did fail to mention that I'd sent out to the board I'll call it the working draft of the policy that the Planning Commission is currently working on. So you can see that how that's beginning to develop as well. Thank you.
Along the lines of the 4 to 5 feet, I also like that had certain districts had additional requirements. For example, bluegrass being the 8 foot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same kind of thing where we're using districts to delineate some of the importance of the broader sidewalks.
'Cause I think that was done like as a safety, and so it was kind of a carve out, but there was nothing ever changed in the policies or the ordinance to show that in there, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, a lot of the hard work comes in the policy.
Yes, that is where. That's why I just wanted to state that, so when the community is reading this and watching this, hopefully, is that they understand the ordinance is the guide, but it's the policies which is the enforcement mechanism. So that's why I wanted to make sure that's clear.
Any other questions? Motions?
I'll make a motion to conduct a second reading for and to adopt the proposed new sidewalk and pathway ordinance as ordinance number 24-2.
Support.
Sorry, 02.
Motion by Rice, support by Cody. Further discussion? And again, I just want the public to know that we probably spent a good hour in public debate, plus all the homework that we did leading up to that, and all the time the planning commission spent on it, so. This is a roll call vote. Everybody clear on the motion?
Mm-hmm.
You do roll call vote of the motion, please, Cody?
Supervisor Milky,
Yes.
Clerk Cody, yes. Treasurer Rice,
Yes.
Trustee Bills,
Yes.
Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Trustee Thering.
Yes.
All yeses.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
That finishes our new business. That's a light agenda tonight. This brings us to item 12 on the agenda, extended public comment. Extended public comment is restricted to 5 minutes regarding any issue. If you choose to address the public, please state your name and address for the record. And note that, let the record show that we have no one connected remotely. And with that, we will open up extended public comment at 7:17 p.m.
Frank Engler, 1798 West River Road. Just wanted to relay to you guys, I'm out and about. I had somebody ask about Sweeney Road and Broomfield. There've been a few accidents there, and they were wondering what the procedure is to there, so there might be someone coming in. I believe that's Union Township. I believe that starts here, so I just wanted to. I went through the process with them, and I didn't know if they were going to show up here or not. So just that there was concern that it's been hard to get on and off there, and I'm not sure if that's something of concern. But I thought since they brought it up, I would bring it to your attention. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stephanie Stein, 5260 East Broadway Road. I would just like to say it's so nice to see you all. I have the intention and am running for the wonderful position of treasurer. Kim has done a great job, obviously, so it will be tough shoes to fill. But I appreciate a lot of ways that things are handled here. Now that you mentioned policy, that's one of my favorite ways to handle things. Actually, it's one of my main duties where I work. I've been in the financial industry for 15 years, 14 with the same credit union locally. I've lived in Union Township for about 15 years now. I have extensive community involvement focusing on children, so like Big Brothers, Big Sisters, current president of the Optimist Club, and I see the treasurer position as a way to encourage the proper use of spending and making good choices to ensure the financial future for our community. And I see it as a good way to get involved. I, again, love policy and procedures. Highly trained on that. I write most of them for where I work. And I just think it would be wonderful to be a larger part of Union, because I devote a lot of time to Mount Pleasant City. And since I am in Union, I would like to focus more on that. So, nice to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for running. Anyone else? I should have asked you during presentation as city commissioner. My apologies.
Yeah, so hello, my name is Boomer Wingard. I live at 119 East Broadway in Mount Pleasant. I do work in Union Township though, and after what Commissioner Endler mentioned, a road complaint that I would like to put out there is on Isabella Road, the entrance to Mary McGuire Elementary. I feel like when that entrance to that road was laid out originally, it wasn't intended, like it wasn't thought through that around 3 o'clock every day there is going to be a rush hour of traffic here. I work at Isabella Community Credit Union, and I work on the north side of the building. So our entire department will shut down about once every 3 months because we're all watching the traffic accident that's taking place up there. So just something I'd want to bring to the attention of the board. Been thinking about for a while, and just had the opportunity to talk to you this evening about. So thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Still no one online, I'm assuming?
No.
Anyone else? See no one else coming forward, we'll close public comment at 7:20 PM. We're on record here, I think. Let's see if I can slow things down. Item 13 on the agenda, manager's comments. Mr. Stuhldreher, you have the floor.
Thank you, and I just have one comment. We have the elections coming up in August and November. You may recall a couple years ago, we, with your approval, closed Township Hall to the public. We were open for business, all the staff was here, but we closed it to the public to help with voter traffic. And the township clerk has suggested that that might be a good idea to do it again this year. So I want to bring that up to the Board of Trustees. You don't have to decide tonight, but if you want to think about it or give me an indication tonight, that's fine. But to close it a full day, I'd be looking for your concurrence on
Yay.
that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
good.
be fine with that.
Any objections to that?
Close the entire township for the election day?
This building. Right?
Just the
This
public.
Close the Township Hall to the public.
Yeah, that's fine with me
Yeah.
because we want privacy while we're voting.
And the Clerk Cody could explain it better, but the flow of voters in
Yeah.
Yeah, we're having them coming this way
in
now.
that
That
door,
way it's easier.
out that door,
Okay.
and it just would help manage. And we're still in this learning phase of, in-person voting,
Mhm.
9 days.
absentee ballot, 9-day voting. We're just not sure on the volumes, and we do expect a high turnout, particularly for the November election.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're looking for both August and November elections?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
Yep.
I'm fine with that.
Too. Clerk?
The reason why I suggested August and November is so when people come in to vote, they have the same pattern that same year, so August, they'll, come in this way, and then November, they'll be expecting the same thing. So that's another reason.
Repetition is good.
Yes.
I'm good.
All right, well then, I'll take that as allowance to close it to the public. We'll put up proper notices and signage and that kind of thing.
Perfect.
So thank you, and that's all I have.
Thank you. That brings us to item 14 on the agenda, final board member comment. We'll start over with Trustee Bills.
Well, all right. I'm excited that we're getting some clarification on the sidewalks and that maybe we'll get some more sidewalks for Union Township because I want all sidewalks everywhere. But access, walkability, that's what we're looking for. So that's one of the things I ran on, and I'm happy to say we did a lot of that. So another thing is I'm hearing some more private community complaints about building projects, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But I can't do anything about that. Don't know what to say. So have a great day.
No, nothing tonight.
Nothing tonight.
No.
Nothing.
I got my tax bill.
Yay. Did you pay it yet?
No.
Oh,
I shredded by.
Darn it, I did write the check.
Let's
September
see.
16th, if I remember right.
Yes.
Yes.
that is correct. And you can pay online or in person, or if you want to trust the mail, mail it in.
Oh, come on. Drop it in the box.
That's right.
Clerk Cody?
I'm good.
Trustee Thering? I actually don't have anything tonight either. It's been, the holidays and everything, so 7:24. No other
Don't
business?
worry,
No.
Lisa and I already beat you for the quickest meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I move to adjourn.
All right, so I hear a motion to adjourn by Bill, support by Cody. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 7:25 PM.
Isn't that nice?